Yeah, so the only thing I was going to add there is to Rich's point about, those guys that are like, oh, I can't do it or it must be easy. Me and Jaron have seen this. We see this all the time. Like we go through comment sections or we see guys that are like, well, you guys are always talking about, the top 10% of guys, the top 20% of guys. But what about like the guys that are in the middle? What is your advice for guys in the 50 percentile? Like, are we supposed to just, we just don't get to have girls. We don't get to have. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like,
you don't exist.
You're not on their radar. You're invisible. So you either change your plight and you get to the top 20 or top 10, or you can just have mediocre results and be a loser for the rest of your life. Like, I don't care about living in this is how life should be world, because too many people want to think, oh, well, it shouldn't be that way. It's like, it doesn't matter what it should or should not be. The only thing that matters is how life is. And you either can play by those rules or not. Play or don't play, but changing the game is not an option. And the game
they want to pull you down to their level because then it makes you feel better, right?
It's that crab bucket mentality.
Because it's harder to do the work to level up to get to here. It's easier for them to pull you down to here, right?
Although, Rich, I've noticed it's really not hard to do the work. I was on a stream last night and someone asked, like, oh, how'd you lose all the weight? Was it really tough? Like, it was tough to realize I needed to lose the weight, but once I had in my head, like, I'm going to be fucking hot and jacked, it just happened. It's not hard. How'd you quit drinking? I looked like a fat-ass alcoholic in the mirror, and I hated what I saw, so I changed it. Period. Done. It was, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to do this shit. Like, do you want it or do you not want it?
I think another misconception.
It's not hard for you, Jared.
Yeah, it's not hard for me. Yeah, right.
But another misconception is that everybody has got to be jacked with a supercar and dating a 10, as we've gone over it a million times. It's be the best version of yourself.
Exactly. No, that's different for everyone.
All of us, the group of us that were skiing in Colorado this year, or one buddy that came with us, he looks like a Ken doll. And we were all like, we could be in the gym 24/7, 365 and have 3 dietitians. None of us would look like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I probably but it's also really overestimate like where they are. So even when we talk about best version of yourself, I mean, actually, like most guys tend to undercut themselves. But I go back to the guy, Rich, you had on your show this past Monday, Bob, and learning about his story and learning and seeing his Instagram and kind of knowing his background and listening to that cast, and the guy still valued himself at like a 6.5. I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell that you're a 1.5 above average. Yeah. So it's like, the delusion with a lot of guys still is very strong.
That's odd because I noticed with men, they tend to undervalue their value, whereas women tend to overvalue their value. And our friend Bob, the incel, overvalued, his SMV because, yeah, you're right. He called him a 6.5. I'd probably put him at a 3, only because he was decently good looking. But it was like basic fundamental shit, like going to the gym, was like over his head. When I told him,
I don't do it because it's hard.
Yeah. When I told him, get into combat sports because that shit's good for you. It's like, I said, at least try for 90 days, like commit to 90 days. Like, well, maybe I'll do 30. It's like, oh, fuck. It's like, like, are you even going to fucking like listen to any of what I'm saying here? It's like,
Bob, would you sleep with yourself? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Like, no, you would.
I mean, if there's any lesson that anybody can take from that cast, that's how lazy, your competition is, right? It's like, just dude, like get out there and start grinding and get your head down. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.